Namaskar. In the previous part, we have definitely seen that even if a disease is not named, according to the philosophy of Ayurveda, nothing will be wrong. We can definitely treat that disease by studying the disease in that context. There is no question of name in it. If this disease is for everyone, everywhere, beyond the caste and religion, then the question comes to the mind as to what is the similar disease in Ayurveda for this disease, and we have given the answer is yes. I am also telling the name of the disease, for that it can be challenge for all of us. I am expressing some parts here that will arouse the curiosity in everyone. I am now describing some symptoms before you. These symptoms are those of wounds that occur in the last stage of cancer in the world today. That are after the formation of ulcer or wounds. Of course, this stage is the extreme stage of the disease. We should carefully look at those symptoms and consider them. This is my humble wish. Those symptoms are as follows. Of course, these symptoms are of the wounds. Becomes either coppery colored, green, yellow, blue, black or red. This space becomes full of pustules which are excessively swollen and associated with excessive burning, sensation and breaking pain. When there is a eruption of these pustules, then exudate which is white, slimy, fibrous, dense, knotty, and annectus comes out. After the eruption of these pustules, the space is covered with ulcers which are heavy, deep-seated, stable, surrounded by the capillary network, annectus and covered with many skin scabs. Becomes as if the studded with eruptions of red, yellow and pale yellow color. The space looks muddy, black, dirty and annectus, and it is excessively hot, heavy with dull pain, edema and deep-seated suppression. These eruptions are free from any exudation and become sluggy very quickly. The skin and muscles tissues over these eruptions are shriveled, sticky and supported. These enlarged glands get supported very slowly and the ailments is difficult of cure. Becomes either coppery colored, green, yellow, blue, black or red. The exudates from these pustules have the color like those of the pustules. Appears like the extinguished charcoal or excessively red. The space becomes surrounded with pustules like those caused by burns. It afflicts the vital organs because of its nature to spread rapidly. The space looks muddy, black, dirty and annectus, and it is excessively hot, heavy with dull pain, edema and deep-seated suppression. I have mentioned some of the symptoms which ultimately develop in this disease. These symptoms are in connection with the wound which we will call a wound or ulcer, and is every cancer patient. The wounds that are formed in the last stage are non-healing. This is the descriptions regarding them. All these symptoms are of wounds or ulcers that are formed. They can be seen directly. However, even though these symptoms are described in English, they are translated into English. I would like to say that humbly, all these symptoms are related to the wounds of a disease given in the Ayurveda book, and therefore, even though the name of the disease was given by Ayurveda that time, we have not been able to express our opinion on it since we have not looked at it from that perspective. I believe that it is necessary to revisit this chapter in the Ayurveda and study it out of curiosity. If we look at the words in which Ayurveda describes this disease, we will realize that there is a lot of similarity in them. I will tell you the names of those diseases, and if you look at their treatment, you will notice that almost all of them are based on the cold qualities. In the treatment plan for this disease, blood purification has been given special importance. Ayurveda, while expressing its opinion about Rakta Mokshan, has clearly said that in this disease all treatment are on one side and Rakta Mokshan on the other. In short, Rakta Mokshan is half the treatment of this disease. The most ointments have been described for this disease, and it has also been clearly expressed that this disease is difficult to treat as a treatment. Therefore, when looked at this disease, it is definitely necessary to practitioners, experts, scholars, and everyone to look at this disease again. If there is such a similarity between cancer and this disease, it is important to think about it again. The only difference that can be noticed between these two diseases is that the treatment is completely different. Therefore, even though today's established medicine seems logically correct, it must be said that it is not perfect. You will realize that if you consider these holistically and treat them, you will be able to achieve a large degree of success. The name of that disease is given in Ayurveda as Visarpa. Visarpa means spreading. This is the symptom of cancer. Cancer is a spreading disease. That is why it spreads in the body like a snake. That is why the Ayurvedic scholars have given the name of that disease as Visarpa. If you can, you should see that part of the study it. Visarpa is a collection of some diseases. Visarpa is a collection of some diseases. Some of its types are very similar to this cancer disease. I would like to draw your attention to this. From all these explanations, we can see some guiding points in Visarpa or cancer disease. It is important to find out the reason for that person and remove that reason from his lifestyle. Of course, this reason will be in the context of hot qualities. For that, it is also necessary to study other teaching preached in Ayurveda. Another thing is that the treatment should be mainly based on cold qualities, and the third thing is the unique general importance of blood purification, which is still accepted by the world today. I am very humbled to state that the research on cancer disease has been going on for a few decades. However, the description of Visarpa disease in Ayurveda Shastra has been kept in written form at least 3000 years ago in Sanskrit language, which Ayurveda is based on Indian philosophy, which philosophy hopes to establish peace and stability of the world. Thank you very much.